Hi everyone, welcome to this All Signs Tarot reading. I am Stella, this is Loveworks, and in this All Signs reading we are going to do how to move toward love. And we are going to look at this from a unique perspective as far as how to move toward love both spiritually and tangibly. We're going to do Aries all the way through Pisces. All of my information is in the description box underneath the More tab of this video, which are much more in-depth than what I give in the All Signs readings. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. We're going to start with Aries. Aries, please. Okay, so we do have a King of Swords at the bottom of the deck. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius does not have to involve anyone of that sign, but that is here. Okay. Intriguing. Okay. All right. So let me take a look here. See, oh, intriguing. Okay. All right, let's see, Aries. Moving toward love. The good news here is there is absolutely a connection that is, if you are already in this connection, great. You know, there can absolutely be improvement and movement forward, possible marriage, living together, something along those lines. If you are connecting now, I should say, if you are connecting now, then that will most likely move forward. So I believe you are moving forward. So we'll look a little bit more into how that can improve. If you are single, you do not have anyone, I would say online connections may work for you. You may meet someone that way, by communicating clearly, like dating apps, you know, that sort of thing. Online connections could be very favorable for you. One thing I would avoid is not being spontaneous. I feel like spontaneity is your friend here for sure. And that's great because you are fire. All right. So, you know, Aries can be very spontaneous and passionate and driven. Absolutely. And that is your natural state. So, like, embrace your natural state. It's, some of you may have heavy earth in your chart and want to be cautious, take your time. Now, remember, this is a general reading, so, you know, whatever fits with you. But actually, in this position of the spread, it is saying to avoid being too pragmatic or too slow, too cautious, those types of things. Of course, we want to be safe. I'm not talking about like safety. We don't want to just be spontaneous and go show up at some stranger's house, right? That we met online in some shady, you know, of course not that type of, like, not disregarding safety cautions, of course. But as far, when I say cautious, I mean as far as like cautious over your heart, cautious over this, cautious over that. It's like, instead, this is more about being spontaneous. Also, too, if you are with someone now, there could be so much more harmony by disengaging in the little wars. So by that, I'm a big fan of choose your battles wisely with our partners or whomever, quite frankly, and not to focus on the little things that can be unnerving, annoying. So, for instance, it's like, you know, oh, I really love this person, but oh, I could never live with them. You know, they leave their dishes in the sink, or you know what I'm saying? Like those, like the trivial things in life are and I cannot stress like how important that is, because everyone has like their annoyances, right? A lot of people, I can't think of any human being who doesn't, unless they're like a master in a cave, somewhere in Tibet. So the thing is, though, that those things are the things that will hold back like a very beautiful and profound relationship. So it's always better to really recognize the deeper connection that we do have with someone. And if that outweighs all those silly little things, like, and they're not silly, I get it. I mean, things can be very annoying, but things can also be like the sign of a good kind of yogi or yogini in life is one who can look at the broader picture of something and not be bothered by the minutia of life. So, if they leave the toothpaste cap off in the sink, that it doesn't warrant like some quarrel or argument or something along those lines. And if they are the ones doing that to you, maybe you're the one who leaves a toothpaste cap off the whatever on the sink, or leave the dishes in the thing. And if they consistently argue with you about it or something along those lines, well, on the same token, it doesn't take much, right, to just sort of ease things in. Sometimes we're rebels and we don't want to give in to certain things, and that can stem from childhood or teenage years or younger years or something along those lines. But again, it's like, is it really compromising ourselves though, to just give a little bit and for the higher sake of love? So I would say not letting little things get like in your way or bother you or annoy you or something along those lines with someone. Hold on. Okay. Trust. Beautiful. Yeah, and that's going to make a lot of sense in just a moment. Let me get one more card for you. Walking away from, okay, perfect. Okay, yeah, and take a divinely guided chance at the bottom of the deck. So let's read this real quick. All positive change and successful ventures involve a degree of risk, and you are ready to follow divine guidance to new territories. That's really important because we'll talk about that in a moment. So I'm going to read that line again. All positive change and successful ventures involve a degree of risk, and you are ready to follow your divine guidance to new territories. As you leave behind that which is comfortable and familiar, but no longer appropriate for you, you make room for new and more meaningful opportunities. So this is my absolute favorite ever oracle card in the history of oracle cards that I've seen or owned. It is literally, I think it's like the best card and makes the most sense of anything. And it really fits in to what's going on here in this reading. So the fact that you have trust, and look at this is really intriguing. The trust has a heart in the center. And these cards are not like a love deck by any stretch of the means. Okay. So that's what I'm seeing here. I feel like there's a lot of caution with you guys. Maybe you have a Capricorn rising or Capricorn moon or Capricorn Venus or something along those lines, or any type of earth energy, or could have been raised by parents with those features, which kind of spilled over onto you, because it's too cautious, too much slow approach kind of thing, when what you really want to do is get into that true Aries energy of fiery spontaneity. We don't want to be, just throw caution to the wind and jump into anything, of course, but this is suggesting to really like trust your heart. And with the walking away, this is what I was referring to when it said those things which are familiar and comfortable, but they're no longer appropriate. That is absolutely this card. It's like the Eight of Cups in tarot. So you have double confirmation of this card with all of your cards that are showing up here. So some of you may be, I feel like you're looking for new love. again, though, some of you may have met someone and then there's that message, okay? But others of you, if you're looking for something new, then it's going to take leaving behind like that comfortable, familiar energy of yourself that hasn't been working. It's like that analogy, right? When the light bulb is dead, you know, it's burned out. It's like you don't just keep flipping the switch on the wall up and down hoping the light bulb comes on. You know, it's not going to work, right? What do we have to do? We have to go get a ladder. We got to get a new light bulb, and we have to physically put in a new light bulb. And that's what I'm seeing here. So like a different approach. If you've been cautious before in your life, if you've been slow to make movement in your life, then now is the time. If you want to move toward love, it's going to take spontaneity, passion, and fire. Okay? And trust yourself when you do meet that right connection. Okay. And them. Okay, let's go to Taurus now. Yeah, Taurus. How to move toward love. Taurus. Taurus, please. How to move toward love for our Taurus friends watching this placement. Wow. Okay. Clear message. Clear message. Okay. Okay. Love it. Okay. So the good news, Taurus, is I see tons of healing and moving forward here. The thing is recognizing it. All right. So I feel like some of you have been in a pretty exhausting situation, or just have, some of you, it could be a very long time, like 10 months, 10 years, something along those lines. Like, I mean, it could be, you know, as extreme as 10 years where there's just, something has had to give and you knew it, you know, and it's like, the thing is though, you do know it. And I feel like you have healed. So, but your mind hasn't really caught up with that yet. So recognizing that you are exhausted and done thinking about someone. All right. Recognizing that is really your last key here, because I feel like your heart already has moved on. I feel like you are looking for new things, ready for new things. And it's just the mind still really hasn't made that connection yet. It's so used to being in the heaviness of what wasn't, that it's hard to switch gears and be in the energy of what is, you know, or what could be, you know, that kind of thing. So I feel like right now, like as far as spiritually, how to move forward with love, it would be to really recognize like that you are ready. You are ready for something very solid and very committed, and that you are ready to let go of revamping anything in your life, or well maybe or what if, you know, they do come back, you know, things like that. Like letting all of that go, all right, is definitely like your friend. It is time, my friends, to, you know, get back on the proverbial horse again, for sure, with the Knight of Wands. The Knight of Wands is very like ready to go, get out there, explore, go see what's out there. And excitement, passion, you know, just new vigor in general. All right. Not trying to revive anything that has clearly, well, spiritually it's clearly ended, but your mind, like I said, may not register it as that yet. All right. So time to get back on that proverbial horse again, and, you know, be more proactive towards new adventures, whether that be seeking love right now or not, whatever it may be, just getting your vitality back, not letting this situation, which is like victim circumstance, things of that nature, not allowing that situation to keep you in victimhood. All right. So many people, we can do, we've all been there. We can all do that to ourselves where, victim type circumstances happen. But then we continue, even though the situation is done, we still continue being a victim of that situation because we haven't cleared it out yet. So there's the only way through this right now, I see, not the only way, but like one of the best ways, I should say, through this right now is to just get excited about love again, or excited about whatever this is about for you. Could even be work or career, whatever you love, right? And get more motivated here. But I definitely feel there is a love situation, though, that needs to be healed in this way. Okay, so for some of you, let's see. So we have the Wheel of Fortune in a very precarious situation here, because this is my position of like what to like avoid. So, which is interesting because the Wheel of Fortune is an extremely positive card. But that's the thing. It's not to avoid like turning the wheel or anything of that nature. But for some of you, it may have something to do with like moving. Sometimes the Wheel of Fortune can have something to do with moving. Okay. It can also so for instance, if this first, because I think this is about love and work for you guys. I feel like both are in this reading. So for instance, this could tangibly be, as far as like how to move forward, then you may be exhausted with your work and trying to keep butting heads, trying to bring something like bring your focus back to life, something like that. It's not about that. It's not, in other words, it's not a mental thing. You have healed that. It is a vitality thing. All right. So putting more, and that may not be what you want to hear, because if you're at a job where you're burned out, and let's equate this to a job or a relationship. Okay. If you are burned out, with a job, and it's like you've tried to think of everything that you can do and nothing's working. You're just, you're over it. You're done. Well, the thing is, it's saying possibly not to move on, because there could be a lot of like really great security that is coming. But it is saying to put more passion into it. Okay, put more passion. Not thinking how to resolve something. Put more passion into something. So, and that goes with relationships as well. I feel like your last relationship was a very, if it's romantic for you, a very thinking relationship that took up a lot of your, like, just exhausted yourself mentally. It was most possibly too a very heavy relationship, either that or one that was requiring you to exercise discernment. Sometimes the Judgment card is just that, judgment, discernment, and karmic tests in that way. So if that is the case, this is definitely saying like, let go of that aspect. It is time to get more passionate about things, and that not to, in this case, and I would say it's more about not to just hope that good luck is on your side or hope that the wheel turns. It's not going to be anything like that. It's going to be your passion, what you put forward, like how you step forward. So in that case, it's not necessarily about like moving or something like that. It's more about not relying on a move or good luck or, something like that to be your answer. Your answer is your passion and how you go forward with that. That will bring your 10 of Pentacles. The good news here in this spread that I'm seeing, and I haven't even put down all your cards yet, we got a couple more to go here, but is that I do see like prediction energy here of you reaching this like very safe, secure position in life. Okay. All right. So let's put out a couple more cards, Taurus, and then I think we've covered it all. Anxiety. Yeah. See, that's that like 10 of swords. That needs to go. Yeah, definitely. Let's see. And hunger. Okay. So, and then look, energy. That's your answer is energy. Absolutely. Because the hunger, the desire over something is causing too much anxiety here. And again, it's not about, like, none of those things are going to work. It's changing your, oh wow, and cleanse. Not even kidding. Cleanse here with your, it's changing your energy, your passion towards, you know, what you want. If you're single, it's really figuring this out. You are healed. Recognize it. Now it's time to, you know, suit up and show up and start meeting some people here. Not just expecting fate and destiny to solve it for you, or, you know, manifestation to solve, you know, those types of things. But those things all play a role, but not to just count on it. It's like, it's action, it's passion that needs to come forth here. Okay, and your very last advice card here for Taurus. Deceit in reverse. Wow. Is it in reverse? Yeah, it is in reverse because I had the deck the right way. So interesting. And then optimism. Oh my gosh. And round here. Yeah, you guys, you're done with deceit and going round and round with this situation. I feel like deceit is stopping now. And because the thing is, I feel like there was a deceitful relationship, and like begets like. So if someone's deceitful, if we're deceitful, you know, whichever, it's like, if they were, then it's like, well, like begets like, then in some way we are deceiving ourselves. So that's why there's been this like stuckness of round and round and round and round and round and round. Again, your answer is to welcome change and optimism with open arms. Look, she's even got the same colored dress as the Queen of Wands. Okay, so look up the Queen of Wands on Google or YouTube right here. All right, there might be a video just on her. I'm not sure. But it's like, look up the Queen of Wands and really study this card, because this is where Spirit is really wanting you to move toward. And this optimism card with open arms, not closed fists, not holding on to something that we can't get and then getting all anxious. It's like open arms and welcoming this bounty. That's what's going to attract either, you know, your dream career, your dream marriage, both, whatever it is you're looking for here. Okay. All right, Taurus, and we are on to Gemini. Okay, Gemini, let's see what is going on for Gemini as far as moving toward love. Best way forward, moving toward love for Geminis. How to achieve their goals in love, moving toward love. Geminis, please. Okay. I'm going to do this one real quick because I can tell this is a masculine reading. So we will do this, and then we will do a feminine reading because it's all masculine. Okay. So, yeah. Okay, so the Gemini I'm reading here is meant to focus more on self-improvement, physical improvement, mental, spiritual improvement. That is like what you are here to do, to become that leader of self. And also, that is what will bring the partnership. So for the Gemini masculines that I am reading for here, there's a sense of feeling, okay, this is going to be a little tough. And not, I mean, it's good, but there may be a little bit, if you're sensitive, there may be a teeny hit to the ego here. However, the good news is that you are, here's the thing. You are more than you think, Gemini, but the thing is, you think you're someone different, okay, than what it's actually showing. All right. So that's why I say I'm going to put this delicately, but there's like an inner child within that is like effing things up for you. All right. Basically, that's the easiest way I can put this. And I feel like you guys somehow along the line, like you've either been told and then that stuck with you or something like that. And this is later in life. I'm not talking about inner child stuff now, but somewhere along the line, like sensing that you are this like sort of acute skill, like really smart businessman or like really skilled at not showing emotion or something like that. That's not working anymore. All right. I feel like that was something that you needed to adapt at some point. Like you needed to just get sort of, gosh, I don't know. Like if it's, because the intelligence, in other words, is great, but it's not what's working for you right now. All right. So I'm not saying dumb yourself down or anything like that. Just incorporate it into your personality, but that's not all you are. All right. And there's something here about needing to like intelligence. I need more intelligence. I need more, this, that. And the thing is, it's like, and I feel like you do know that you are intelligent, but again, this isn't working for you, all right? Because what it's doing is it's closing down your emotional self. There's absolutely zero feminine cards here, not even at the bottom of the deck. All right, feminine energy is huge, all right? And you guys must know that if you're watching tarot, all right, then that is the feminine energy coming through. So it's definitely a need to embrace that more. Somehow there could have been pressure on you from feminines in your life to become like intelligent, to become, I don't want to say ruthless, because I know you're not, but you may think you need to be. And that it's just not there. So here's the part where I said might be a little bit hard on the ego, okay, is that you may be seeing yourself as this King of Swords, this astute businessman, or this astute intelligence, or like, oh, I'll outsmart them, or I'm not going to open my heart and I'm going to be very protective over my heart kind of person as a king. But really right now, it's time to be a student of life. Okay. Not a king. The thing is, you are a king, but you're a different kind of king. And when you recognize that, you're going to be so much better off because you're taking away from yourself by not realizing this. All right. You are tiptoeing around things. You are feeling like you need to like outsmart or outwhip every situation of life. And that is not working. Okay, it's not your brain power that's going to change things or move you towards love. It's your, it's getting together. All right, getting shit together, basically, on a foundational way. And the thing is, it's like needing to be more of a student of life than, like, we can't shortcut it. We can't just become a master of life without studying, and basically we can't do that anyway. On this planet, we're all students. I don't care how intelligent you are. I don't care how wise you are. You can, I mean, even our wise masters or wise philosophers that have roamed this planet or are, insanely, genius prodigies and all, they're all still students on Earth. That's why they were here. So it's like, it's okay to be that. And in fact, that is wisdom. It is wisdom to realize that we're a student here. So there's something about not wanting to study what really needs to be studied and instead saying that you are that already. So, And that's fine, kind of a fake it till you make it thing, but the thing is it hasn't worked. And you're actually favoring that side of things rather than favoring what really needs to be studied and learned in order to build foundations for yourself. So I feel like your key in life right now is more about, wow, boom. Yeah. Seeing this from a different perspective. If you've been wounded here, this is how you set yourself free, and you put this behind you and you start becoming the magician that you are. So, I mean, it's nothing but masculine cards here. Oh, King of Cups next. That's where you find the love. That's where you find this missing piece. So foundational earth energy is your friend right now. Okay. Not gaining more ruthless tactics or and I don't think you're a ruthless person. I want to make that very clear. I don't see you as ruthless whatsoever. All right. It's like I see you as feeling like you need to be, and that isn't working. So it's some of you possibly too could really build like a really great relationship, marriage here, or something along those lines. Others of you too, you may have some sort of knowledge in building something very specific, artistically and creatively also. Anyway, and yeah, anyway, so it's time to become like the magician in a different way. All right, so opening your heart more and focusing on learning things that will actually pay. All right, actually pay. And you can move up your, metaphoric ladder like very quickly once you realize this, that you are a King of Pentacles, but you're acting like a king of, you're thinking you're a King of Swords, and you're really in disguise. You are a King of Pentacles, but right now you're not. You're going to be, but you have to be the Page of Pentacles first before you can be the king. And the Page of Pentacles studies, learns, realizes that they are a student here in life, and understands like what it takes to build a marriage, a future, a partnership, that sort of thing. If it's not for Gemini males, if it's not foundationally like something that you need to build as far as like a financial basis or something like that, then I would say what that was about was if you want to be married and have a partnership and a traditional great love and all that kind of stuff, then you can't do, well, I don't want to say you can't, but it's harder. Let's just say that it's harder to do that from being the King of Swords. The King of Swords is not opening their heart. And it's that little, like I said, that little child inside that is protecting you, but it's, or that little inner child, I should say, not little child. That sounds like you're immature. I didn't mean it that way, but it's a need to express yourself the way a King of Pentacles would. A King of Pentacles is the husband card in tarot many times, right? Well, how would they get to be a husband if they don't ever express themselves or open themselves up to love or be vulnerable with someone? That would never happen, right? So it's like a King of Swords is like divorced or cold or this or that, right? So it's like you need to move more into that King of Pentacles energy of expressing yourself, being vulnerable enough that, to allow a relationship to connect. All right. Okay, so now to Gemini females, please. Okay, tell me about feminine Gemini. How to move towards love, feminine Geminis, please. Thank you. Okay, that's pretty cool. Okay. Hold on, let me clarify this. Okay, building an inner strength right now. I see that. Okay, but You are. You're stronger than you realize. Okay. And then moving. Okay. There's some little, okay, piece to do first before, like, moving, I'm getting for some of you, but and that may come into play. Let me just take a look here and see. I'm going to set these aside for a minute because those are the ones that aren't really resonating with me yet, whereas your read is clear, and then we'll bring these back in a moment. Okay. Let's see. So Chariot card, 9 of Cups. All right, definitely needing to get more into the manifestation side of life spiritually. So as far as like how to move forward in love spiritually, we'll talk about tangibly momentarily, but spiritually would absolutely be to like believe it. You know, believe that there are like guides, angels, heavenly counterparts, whatever, you know, Cupid's arrows, up there like helping you. Okay, and like get a little bit more into the faith department, believing that there is a soulmate for you, believing that things can, like your wishes can come true. I'm not saying like, oh, all of your wishes can come true or, you know, anything like that, but you get what I'm saying, you know, in a very faith based way. So having faith that there is a true partner for you or a true harmony that can be manifested here. Okay. Because we do have this King of Wands. King of Wands is definitely someone interested in you. Okay, let me bring these back because now I think I'm starting to see. All right. Some of you may be like moving or wanting to move for this King of Wands or move for love. But it's not that easy is what I'm getting. There's something here about patience. Hold on one second. I need a little extra with yours. Yeah. Wow. The magic will keep you in the flow. That's exactly what I was seeing here. Okay, so yours is more about not negating the magic of love, the magic of staying in the flow of things. I feel like some of you are trying to force breakthroughs within yourself. Okay, so it may not be about moving. All right, trying to be the chariot, just break through any obstacles, you know, that kind of thing. Keep going, keep going, keep going. And it's like, yeah, you know, that there's nothing wrong with that. Chariot's a great card and it will eventually like go toward victory. But what will really help that along is a little bit of magic. Okay, and by magic, I feel like it's believing in like the magic of life, that it can happen for you. You can meet that person. You and that King of Wands can make it, or, you know, something along those lines, right? So needing to have the faith that there is someone out there for you, that there will be someone who will pursue you, and that is what I am seeing the most. Hold on, let me look at this a little bit. Yeah, I think there's a little bit too much relying on your inner strength. And this reminds me of one of the other readings. I don't know. I haven't done that many, so I don't know if it was Aries or Taurus or what have you, where it's like needing to push through with passion rather than hiding behind your inner strength. So some of you your inner strength is amazing and it's developed, and it's because you've been the Chariot card and you've busted through a lot of obstacles. But just like anything in life, we can do something too much, and then we need to balance it again. I feel like you guys are too, I don't want to say addicted to it, to inner strength, but you've become so Chariot oriented, which again is busting through obstacles and learning and developing and your inner strength, that you have succeeded. But it's time to see that now. All right. Time to see that you have succeeded in inner strength. And now it's time to boom, 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 start like putting some feelers out there, starting to take some action. Yeah, that makes so much sense. Okay. Now I'm getting this. Okay. So this is exactly what it's saying. Like, there's no need to keep trying to move away from choppy waters into smoother sailing ones. Like, you've done that already. You already have like made some sort of major accomplishments in your life. Even if they don't seem major, it's like cumulative, where you have left behind the choppy waters of life and mentally conquered some of those things so that you are sailing towards smoother waters. But the thing is, you may be so used to doing that that you aren't realizing that now, like, you have built yourself up emotionally, mentally strong. And so now it's time to get out there and do things. So it reminds me very much of the Hermit card in tarot, where it's like the Hermit card in tarot is like the wisdom master with the little shining lamp, right? Well, the Hermit card can have two different meanings. Well, it can have many, but for the most part, it can mean like the hermit, you're going off to be a hermit and go into the cave to glean wisdom, right? Going off to be alone by yourself, inner journeys, so that you can light that lamp in yourself and understand a lot of things that you've had to conquer. And that's a good thing. Sometimes we need to do that. But the other side of the hermit cave is, well, maybe he's not going into the cave. Maybe he's coming out, or she, right? Coming out of the cave. So in other words, you go into the cave and you learn all this stuff on the inside, but then at some point you also have to light the lamp for others with what you have learned. You have to come out of the cave. You guys are still in the cave and not realizing it's time to come out of the cave and show like who you are now and balance things, because you've become so inner directed in a good way, a much needed way, and success and applause, for that. Absolutely. But like I said, everything requires balance. We can't just be that. We also have to be outward also. So it's time to be outward now, and to realize that you have conquered a lot mentally, and it's time to like go get it right now, and not sit on the sidelines or be annoyed by people, by life, because that's the thing. When we go into the cave or we break through some obstacles or, those types of things, we get a lot of wisdom. And then other things can start annoying us because it's like, they don't have that wisdom. You do at this time. And so things can start looking annoying sometimes. And this is a time not to engage in any of that, and engage more in the magic of life and starting to manifest what you want, and not just thinking about it and dreaming about it and saying some manifestation affirmations or anything like that. Like, actually seeing what sticks. Try some different things here. Okay. All right. So let's get one last card for you, Gemini. Oh my God. I love it. Out of this major, like, thick, oh my God, did I just say that? Ooh, they're going to have a thick one. Oh my God. I was saying thick and deck at the same time, and well, we know what came out. I had to blurb that out there. In fact, let me make a little motion on my screen so I remember to go back and edit that, because that'll definitely ding me. Okay. Okay. So anyway, you guys can guess what I accidentally said. I was talking about the thick deck, and I had like a little bit of a slip in what I said, a thick right. Okay. Anyway, so it's like, you have new supportive connections coming out, which is amazing. Okay, absolutely amazing, because that's exactly what we were just talking about. So try some new things, get out there, take some classes, maybe do some, art classes or cooking classes or yoga classes in the park, something like that, I feel will be very beneficial for you. Okay, now we are on to Cancers. Okay, tell me about Cancers, please. Cancers. Oops. All right. Cancers, how to move toward love. Oh, okay. Okay. I like that. That's going to be good for you guys. Okay. Okay. Mm-hmm. Oh my God. Okay. I was looking because, so card here. So I wanted to see, okay, well, what's going on? All right. Inner strength. Got that. Then I see Tower and I'm like, oh, okay. What up? Temperance. Two of Cups. Interesting. King of Pentacles. Wow. Empress. Beautiful. Hello. Oh my God. Right? It just keeps going. Okay, so this is a good message. All right. And we'll come back to all this if need be. But all right. This is how we're going from this is how we do it. This is how we're going from page knights to kings and empresses and emperors and whatnot. Okay. So actually, give me just a minute because I can tell this is going to be one. So I'm going to take a little break and I'll be right back. Okay, Cancer. So what I see here really is trying to build happiness more than anything, and somewhere along the lines, things may have just got misguided in a way, and not in a bad way or in a fault or blame way or anything like that, but just misguided in a sense. So I feel like you guys constantly feel like you have this like slow meandering kind of trying to build something, right? And nothing really seems to build, and there's a little bit of putting the cart before the horse here. And the reason also that you may not have found like that perfect ideal situation is somewhat due to the energy I was just talking about, putting the cart before the horse, also like too focused on the foundation rather than what happiness are you really going for here. So in other words, I mean, we're all taught from a very young age, and, I'm not getting into programming or conspiracies or, anything like that. However, I could for ages when it comes to media and books and music and everything else. But we cannot deny that from a very young age, there is this sort of push that, what will make us happy or what's supposed to make us happy is the finding that perfect someone, falling in love, having the, dream career, having the dream partner, those types of things. And not negating that as being happiness in life. Of course, those can all be great. But there's too much pressure here for those things, and too much like going toward those things without really stopping to see, will this make me happy? So I feel like this is a time that, like, to move towards the lighter aspects of life and really dive in to truly, what does happiness mean? Does it mean hand in hand in front of the house? Okay, great. I love this card. I think it's a great card. It is two people, celebrating and happy and all of those types of things. But again, we can't put that like first. So there's an element here. Okay, let me just say this. The spiritual aspect of this, and then we're going to talk about the tangible. The spiritual aspect, in a nutshell, is basically all those things I was saying, is that yours isn't so much about spirit and needing to connect with spirit and those types of deals. Yours is more of needing to connect with spirit in a more practical way and in a more psychological way is what I'm seeing. So it's not about the magic of life right now. To me, it feels like it's more about the psychological aspects of oneself. Okay. So tangibly, what I'm seeing here is with Judgment card showing up first is a heaviness. There's a heaviness. There is a deep, profound knowing that something needs to give, something needs to change. Okay. So there is that. However, just focusing on that aspect of life has not worked for you. So you know there needs to be a deep change. You know that there's like this heaviness toward, but you can't quite define it kind of thing. But it's more about not dwelling on that. The heaviness and the deep, profound change is what I'm suggesting here is the lighter side of things. There is also something here very much about, again, I cannot stress this enough, and that's where we're going to go into the tangible now. Putting the cart before the horse. Okay. And for those of you who are not familiar with that phrase, basically what I'm saying is, I'll just be blunt and say it. Some of you are like wanting to move in, get married, whatever, with this person or that, it's like right away without really like getting to know them well first. Okay. Not all of you. Okay. This is a general reading, but for some of you, there is that tendency. So when what is really being suggested here is it's your confidence. The thing is, we need to trust ourselves that and love ourselves enough and be confident that we are enough, that we are, us, whomever we are going to be a partner with, like that we are enough. All right. So it's like, so something can't be hurried along or pushed forward too quickly, because what I see here is you are going to be like a wonderful partner with someone, and someone's going to be a wonderful partner with you. But it's there's this tendency of going back and forth between heavy, light, and when it's not about either of those things. It's about more balancing those things within yourself. So confidence is your key. I cannot stress that enough. Definitely confidence in yourself, being comfortable with who you are, and also redefining for yourself, or maybe it's not even redefining. Maybe it's like for the first time in your life, really defining what is happiness to you. And we can come up with easy answers. We can say finding the love of our life, having money and freedom, having a big house, having kids, those types of things. But like really, because yes, having children is happy, but it's not always happy. So, and we can't always be happy in life, like where everything is just happy. But what about that is happy for you? Is it because it fulfills some sort of like American dream or whatever dream, wherever country you are, like that's the way it's supposed to be? Or do children genuinely, like, does it really make you happy to think about the all of the aspects that come along with being a parent? All of the aspects that come along with being a true partnership with someone. Okay, if it's not about children, if it's about like meeting the love of your life. Sure, we can say that in a broad way. Oh, meeting the love of my life would make me happy. But like what is the happiness about that? Is it based on because that's what you are supposed to do and that's what everybody else has that you don't, kind of thing? Or is it that because you really want to spend time with someone, you want to share things together, you want to build things together, you want to go through the hard times together, is it really those things? And a lot of times we'll say, of course, but really spending time in really defining what is happiness. Okay, so you clearly do have like something that can happen here for you. Oh, did I move the... Oh, shoot, I shuffled. I shuffled those cards when I took a break. I forgot. That's okay. All right. That's fine. It's okay that I did that. Because I remember what they were, basically. Because you had the Strength card, then the Tower card, and then I feel like it went into, like, the good stuff, like the Empress and King of whatever cups or whatever it was. Okay. So by taking the time to really value what you have been through in the heaviness department, but then get to your truth. Jupiter in Libra, right? Jupiter in Libra is this card. So Jupiter is expansive. Libra is balance. So expanding balance. And the only way we can expand, and it's also good luck. Jupiter is a benefic planet, you know, it's a planet of good luck. So we will have good luck when we balance ourselves. And the only way that it's showing, like in this particular reading, to balance ourselves is to realize what pains us, what disappoints us, what hasn't worked out, where haven't we used good discernment in situations and that sort of thing, and where have we used good discernment, and recognize and value those lessons until you can rest on your Ace of Swords here, which is clarity and truth about what it is that you truly are trying to accomplish here. All right. So again, is it just the status of saying you're in a relationship, or because you're supposed to be in a relationship, or is it because that will truly make you happy? All right. So that, again, I just keep drilling in. So the last thing I'll say, and again, it's a little bit repetitive, but I need to say it one more time, is that it's very important in moving forward to, like, go for things in a very light and fun and flirty and passionate way, but to not immediately, like, whomever, let's say you just meet someone tomorrow, okay, and you go out on a date right away, and then you go out on another date right away, and it seems really good, okay, that doesn't mean this is your person, you know, or like putting that cart before the horse quite yet. Okay, take your time with things. Take your time and don't get overly invested too quickly. Trust your heart and trust your feelings and all those things, but just because we meet someone doesn't necessarily always mean like that's the one, right? So take time with that is basically what I'm seeing. So basically we have two camps of people here in this reading. Some who put the cart before the horse, and they just, and then that leads to nothing, you know, kind of thing. Because it was moving too quickly and expecting too much from something too quickly. Whereas maybe that could have been your person, right? But there was too much pressure and excitement and energy put on to this situation too quickly that it didn't have time to get to know each other and truly evolve. Okay, so there's that camp of the Cancers I'm reading for. And so take your time with things. Then there's the other camp of Cancers I'm reading here for who are in a very heavy situation, one that requires a lot of discernment, or had required a lot of discernment, and is very profound and needs to change. But the only way to really change this is to get more like curious and move away from the heaviness of deep, heavy transition, and get curious about how to make plans moving forward with confidence with situations. All right. And then becoming more of an action taker in a passionate way. All right. So last but not least, I'm going to get you two other cards, and let's see what's going on for Cancers. Okay. Cancers, please. Abundance. And let's get one. I think you guys got that in your, the reading I did, gosh, I don't know. Did I release that yesterday? The reading that was called the Clarity reading. So if you did not see that reading on my channel, just go to my videos underneath, you know, click on my picture and then go to videos and look for the Clarity spread. I think that's what I called the video. And you guys may have another message in there that goes along in tandem with this. Okay, and one more for Cancers, please. Okay, so yeah, for many of you, having the confidence to allow yourself to not just go for like connections and things like that, but to actually like go big or go home is what I'm getting from that card. Intriguing. That's the phrase that came in. Go big or go home. All right. That's a strange phrase. So jumping in, but with such confidence and expecting like a winning scenario. All right. Expecting a winning scenario. Leaving behind this heaviness, this judgment, the heavy situation that may require a lot of discernment, something like that, and just moving into the lighter side of life and just expecting nothing else but abundance in your life. All right. Real fruitful connections, things like that. Okay. Others of you clearly need to speak up in maybe some of you are a couple and it's like you may need to ask for some help, like in purchasing a home or moving in together or something along those lines. Because you could like possibly miss an opportunity by not asking for help to do something like that. And I don't mean that like, oh, you've missed that opportunity, it'll never happen again. That's I didn't mean it to sound so dire or anything like that, or final. What's the word I'm looking for? Anyway, yeah. So there's something here because it says asking for help is a sign of strength, as is accepting it as it is offered to you. Very often, when you ask God for help, prayers are answered through other people. Be sure to accept this assistance as well as give it to others as you are guided. So yeah, there's definitely something here about speaking up that you may need help. So that could be too. Like some of you, maybe you are a couple, you want to move in or you want to start a new living situation or something along those lines, but you are afraid of the judgment that's going to come from that. Well, don't be. Move forward with confidence because the thing is, if you believe in your abundance or both of your abundance or whatever this may be, then that is going to transfer over to others. But when we come to ask for help and we're in a very desperate energy, so look at it this way. Let's say you want to build a business, okay? And let's just say, for instance, like your parents have some money, all right, but you don't, okay? So it's like if you go to your parents sort of heavy, coming from this destitute energy of not really believing in yourself and like desperation, they may lend you the money, but they're not going to feel very confident in lending you the money, okay? Or they may not. They just may not lend it to you. Others of you, if that were the situation, you want to build a business or you want to buy a house or, something like that. Okay. And your parents have the money, you don't. And I'm just using this as an example. But if you come to them with a very confident, light energy, then you're more likely to get assistance. Because if you believe in yourself or the situation or your partnership, then they are going to believe in you too. And they're going to be more than happy to help that. Think of yourself, you've probably been in that position yourself, where even if it doesn't have anything to do with money, like where a friend has come to you for advice, but when they're all down and like heavy and depressed and stuff like that, it's like, you can't help but be a little judgy, possibly, most of us, right? And it's like we really just want to say, well, why don't you just do this? And you just need to pick yourself up from that. It's like our energy is different. But if they come to us with confidence, then we are going to give them advice with confidence. So there's something about that, I feel like begets like. So it's like, do not be afraid to ask for help in any situation, whether it has to do with money, building a house, moving, help from your partner. if there is a partner, help in finding a partner, you know, any of those things. It's like ask for and accept help. And when it shows up, right? Because that's what it says. Very often when you ask God for help, prayers are answered through other people. Be sure to accept this assistance as well as give it to others as you are guided. Okay, so that's what I have for you, Cancers. Okay, we're on to Leo. Okay, how to move toward love for Leo, please. Okay. Okay. Ooh. All right. Yeah, I'm ready for love. Oh, baby, I'm ready for... Okay, let's see. What's going on, Leos? It's funny. I get kind of like a sexy vibe with this, although there's like zero sexy cards. Well, kind of, I guess, but it's like I don't know, like when that song came into my head. Okay, so I feel like you guys are on your way to some sort of connection here. Just intuitively, I'm feeling that the cards aren't really screaming that or anything like that, but I do sense that, and that makes sense with the moon here, like something that you can't see quite yet, but that is like forming. Okay, so hold on. Let me see here what's going on. So you guys are ready. Yeah, ready for love. That's, oh, wow. Yeah, that's why that song came in. You guys are ready. You've emotionally detached from some difficult energy for sure. All right, something that you may have invested some time into or emotion into or a lot of such, and you've taken the bull by the horns. You have decided to move away from like a deep sort of melancholy energy or moodiness energy or something along those lines that kind of had it was taking its toll on you. All right, so I do feel like you've moved away from that. You're in the process of doing that, and you are succeeding. You are healing that situation, is what I see. So I feel it's more of a like, what's next? I just saw like the Who album cover right in front of me. Who's next? And it's not like in a way of like a, all right, who's next, you know, kind of way, like you'll just date anybody. I didn't mean it like that, but it's more like what is next, who is next kind of thing, in a good way. Because you guys, if you're wondering if you are going to heal something, yes, the answer is yes, and you are well on your way to doing that. All right, it's like you basically have. But there's like your next step then is to not focus on the emotional healing of something as much and look more toward like what is next, who is next, ready to get out there, see what's out there, that sort of thing. I don't think it's necessary. It's not like a Knight of Wands where you just need to go out and start dating and meeting people and throwing yourself out there and all that. It's not that as much as it is like putting your attention towards things that will like really support you in your future. So some of you, it may not even be necessarily like about romantic love right now, although I do feel like that is inevitable for you. But it's a little bit more of, as you focus more on things that will benefit yourself, as far as it could be studying something new, learning something new. It could be upping your career game, studying to get into more of a management position or an apprenticeship that will put you into like a higher level, something like that, right? That vibe, as you put your attention on those types of things, then I feel like in the background, Spirit is working on many things for you in a positive direction. And a lot of times when we do take our mind off of love, then, well, what comes in, right? So in other words, we stop thinking about love and we start focusing on our career. Well, what usually happens? Love comes in, right? And vice versa. You know, it's like when we're looking for love, it's like, well, our career starts doing well, or, you know, something like that. So I'm getting that there's like this energy transference in a sense of positive movement forward that you're not really even sure that it's going on, but this is spirit saying it is. So like your spiritual message as far as how to move forward, and we'll talk about the tangible for sure, but the spiritual message is that it is. Just know that it is on your side and it is working for you. So I guess that would mean a bit of blind faith at this time or something along those lines. All right. Needing to just trust that the process is doing its job. Okay. Spiritually. Tangibly, put your mind towards communicating. Like if you're communicating with somebody, sure, go for it. Or if you want to communicate with someone, communicate with them. Put yourself out there. It's not super flirty and it's not super like sexting or flirtiness or anything like that. It's more about like presenting yourself, letting yourself be known, seen, that sort of thing. It's kind of like those, what are those, is it, those coming out things for young girls, you know, in high society. Like I'm picturing something like that, not in such a haughty-taughty way, but that metaphor of, you know, how like the girls, when they turn a certain age or something in those like high societies and they come out in the fancy debutante, is that it? And they present themselves, like they come out to the society. It reminds me of that as a metaphor. It's like, let yourself be seen in that way and work on things that will put you in a position to be seen in that way. And I feel like everything else gets filled in for you here. All right. Don't get too specific with things right now. Also, I feel like it's better to, well, no, I take that back. Okay. Be specific, be direct and specific in what you do expect. And if someone, no, not if someone will respond to that. Be specific and direct in what you are expecting. So any future dates or any situations that you are in now with someone, it's like, go ahead and be direct about what you expect, how you view expecting to grow in situations in your life, whatever. Have those types of conversations, unless of course you just met them and it's your first date, right? And see how they come towards you. I feel like they will surprise you. All right. When it comes from when they see that earthier side of yourself, rather than, because someone may feel you're not ready to move forward with them, that you still are hanging on to something emotionally. So when they see how strong you are and you can communicate how strong you are and that you are ready for like more of a direct approach and that you are ready to leave something behind, you are ready to build something more forward in the future, that is what I feel is going to attract either someone new into your life or a person that you are seeing currently. Okay. Let's see. Let's get a little bit more. So tangibly, I would say, like spiritually, understand that things are at work. You are being healed. You are, because of the work that you have done in emotionally leaving something behind that was very difficult to do and letting go of the emotional, attachment of it. So because of that, like spirit is working on things behind the scenes that you may not be aware of or not be able to see quite yet, but they are all intended to heal you. Now, tangibly, it's like your role, like your earthly role is to like just present yourself. All right. That's the word. That's why I was getting like that debutante kind of metaphor. Just present yourself, put yourself out there, be direct but welcoming action toward you also. Okay. All right. What else for Yeah, flow. Oh my gosh, you have so much flow going on here beneath the surface, and it's because you were able to emotionally detach. Awesome. Okay, let's see. It also always reminds me of Aquarius, and you do have Aquarius here as well. So some of you possibly healing from an Aquarius, or there's an Aquarius Pisces cusper coming in, or around that season, you may really meet someone new or something along those lines too. Okay. And we have, ooh, deception. Okay, hold on. Third party. Oh, and then the next card, happy success. That is what you were leaving behind. Okay, I get it. Hold on one second. Okay, there we go. Yeah, because your consciousness is happy success. This card reminds me of Leo, right? Because it's so very bold. The sun is out. It's very bright. So the sun is going to illuminate what you can't see now. There's been deception in there's been a traitor in the midst, or there's been deception or something along those lines. I don't necessarily think that that's going to like be super clear as to like you may not, that's why it's been so difficult for you, because I feel like you didn't have all the answers with someone or a situation, a third party, or there could have been deception at work, or you know, whatever this is for you. And I think that's why why you are going to be rewarded with happy success, is because even though like you couldn't really figure out all of the answers to this situation, you were able to figure out that you needed to leave it behind. And that's why you are going to move into a happier success, because regardless of what you have experienced, you are still willing to clear the air and be more in the flow. And that's why like more of your consciousness is going to change into happy success. You're not going to worry about this anymore. You're not going to let this fuel your future anymore. You're leaving this behind. So any types of deception, situations where you feel like you just really didn't get all the answers or the closure that you needed, it's like you are not entertaining that anymore. And that's why like you are moving toward a more happy success in many ways, and also like attracting more of a passionate situation of someone who will be pursuant like toward you. Okay, that's what I have for Leo. We're on to Virgo. Virgo, please. Virgo, tell me about Virgo and how they are moving toward love, how to move toward love, both spiritually, tangibly. Show me Virgo. Okay. Oh, interesting. Wow. Okay. Fantastic. Okay. Wow. All right. So after the hangman, I wanted to look and I'm like, 4 cups. Okay. Yeah. 2 of cups. Okay. So what a karmic situation you have been through, Virgo. And that can end and will, but a lot of it has to do with accepting a new reality or like a new perception. Okay. So you guys have been in a very heavy karmic situation or karmic cycle for quite a while. For some of you, it could have been since the last like Pisces eclipse seasons that we had. It could be 10 months, 10 years, something like that. I mean, you know, just it's going to vary between, it's a general reading, but I can see that this has been a very trying period and a very heavy time for you. And the thing is, it's like not quite through the woods yet, but you absolutely can be and most likely will be. Okay. So we have the sun coming out that's going to clarify a lot of the unanswered questions. I'm not necessarily saying like in this reading that I'm going to, give you all of your unanswered questions or anything like that. I'm just talking about in general in your life. I feel like you've, despite like the heaviness, despite not knowing why things have been the way they are, like you still manage to keep pushing forward. That has been your karma side, like your karmic lesson. So I feel like you have, or you are about to ace that situation. So it doesn't mean like because you stuck with a marriage or something like that, everything's going to be great. Because I think for some of you, that would be the opposite. Some of you have, stuck with a marriage that definitely it's time to set yourself free from, right? And please remember, this is a general reading, So any reading, even if it were a personal reading, it's like, I'm never going to just encourage someone, oh, yeah, you need to get out of this marriage. You've been in it too long. It sucks. Because I'm a fan of trying to figure things out, work things out, so that we can get to higher ground with each other and partnerships and all of that. So, but I will say in this general reading that for some of you who have been in a marriage that has just been because that's the traditional way you do things, and you've stuck it out, even though like you keep waiting for the love. No, it's not happening, right? Like that's what I see. Like, it's not, I don't mean that in a mean way, like, oh, it's not happening, Virgo. I mean, like, it hasn't, like, it's not happening for you. Like, it doesn't feel like it's coming to fruition. I'm not saying it's never happening. I'm saying it's not happening for you at this time. So there's something clearly here about like some kind of traditional reason, or trying to fit yourself into these constraints of traditionalism that is not working. All right. And that is probably why you're not sleeping well. That is probably why there's a lot of anxiety or feeling like you are under someone's thumb or under someone's rule or under these like traditions or something like that. And this is your karma in a way to figure out, to look at something then from a new perspective, because this clearly is not working for whomever I'm reading for here. And it's like, once you have that illumination, it's like being set free. So some of you have put up with way too much because, well, that's just the way it is. Or that's just the way marriage is, or that's just the way things have to be, before I can find my husband or wife or something like that. All right. And that's clearly not working. And it literally is your karma lesson, either like your karma life lesson or your karma lesson at this time, to move beyond. That's just what it is. And move beyond that to different perspectives that can propel you forward. One other message I'd like to say here too is that some of you possibly put too much stock on marriage. Like, I have to get married. Where's my person? I got to get married. Like something along those lines, where it's like nothing wrong with desiring marriage or anything like that, or a traditional marriage or what have you. That's great. But when it's to the point of, I have to have it. Well, anything that we chase energetically is going to get further and further away from us. So it's more about, okay, how can I just lighten things up here and be more free with myself and my feelings and who I am authentically, and change my perspective here. Because there's something about holding on to these old kind of stagnant, heavy-handed beliefs or energies that are not working. So new things, new ways to look on life, new leases on life, new Although I hate that phrase. You ever think about that phrase? A new lease on life. It's like, when you sign a lease, or, I don't know. That's a strange phrase, isn't it? So let me back that one out. All right. It's not a new lease on life, which is very close to the word leash. Okay. But it's like a new way of seeing things and letting the clouds part so that the sun can come out and shine, because this is way too heavy. If anyone, so if this is about someone, like if you're cross watching or you are in your head about someone, if any one person is on your mind that is this heavy, this ain't working. All right, again. And I don't mean that in like I'm predicting like this will never work for you. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying this energy, it ain't working for you. All right, or them most likely. So that's got to go. So somehow then you guys do need to find like a new way of bringing happiness and clarity and different perspectives into like this situation. Either that or like something needs to be left and done and moved on from. Okay, so that you can set yourself free. Okay, so let me see. Let me get movement. Yeah, so much stuckness here. So much like waiting for change, waiting for ideas, that sort of thing. Just simple movement is what's going to like help you through a situation. Okay, hold on. Oh, yeah, that is in the reverse. Interesting. So some of my cards are in reverse. Interesting. Okay, hold on. Oh my gosh, release. Exactly what I was thinking here. Okay. Yeah, someone or something clearly is not for you. Also, playing by the traditional rules is not for you. And that's odd to say to Virgo. Virgos do, tend to like somewhat of a structure, in a way, but no, this is clearly not for you in some way. And that is why, like, you're not like, because the increase card is like the big house, it reminds me of the 10 of Pentacles, like the marriage, the big house, the kids, the family, money, those types of things. This is in reverse. So it's like, I feel like that old school kind of thing is not for you. And if you're in it, like it's not making you happy, okay? Or if that's what you're desiring, it's like it's really not making you happy. And it's like releasing. Some of you maybe need to get out of a stuck marriage if it's just for, so for instance, it reminds me of like Catholic, for instance, and I'm no shade on any religions whatsoever. I have I'm very open-minded to all types of religions, but it's like I do know, that because I've had friends that are Catholic and like are afraid to get divorces or afraid of that. And if it's something like that, I feel like that is keeping you so trapped. All right. And again, I'm not here to challenge anyone's beliefs or disrespect anything, but there's something here about needing to see something from a different perspective then, because that's not working for you. So actually needing to talk about what is going on, because the release card, there's butterflies coming out here. Butterflies are about metamorphosis and change, but the only way those butterflies can come out, right, is if we let them out. So it's almost like coming from like the throat chakra or like the heart chakra. So it's about like speaking what's truly in our heart so that we can have transformation. So with this different perspective type of energy, we had those cards, remember, that were, right off the top of the deck. It's like needing to realize, that this traditional side of things may not be what's ever offered, but what can be offered is a true connection. So some of you possibly looking for that traditional marriage, that sort of thing. And I'm not saying that won't ever happen in your life, or maybe you're in it now. If that's the case, then there's something where needing to connect more or find true love connection rather than just staying with something because it's the right thing to do or the family money is there, something like that. Letting all that ideation like go and be willing to look at different perspectives of what true connection is really available to you. As far as true love. And if you don't feel like you have any true love connections available to you now, it's like that's because of this like heaviness that you need to free yourself from so that it can come in. Because there is, this is showing me like in prediction energy, there is a Two of Cups here, a real connection, but it requires freeing yourself and getting clarity on these things so that you can connect with this person so that it's not a missed opportunity. Okay. So again, it requires looking at things from different perspectives now and looking for love rather than looking for like a convenience marriage or something like that, or being stuck in a convenience marriage. Okay. All right. That's what I have for Virgo. We are on to Libra. Okay, Libra, we are checking into how to move toward love, what type of love you are moving toward, that sort of thing. We are going to look at this both spiritually and pragmatically. So let's see what we have for Libra. Libras, please. Okay. Okay. A little worn out right now. Okay. Oh, well, I like that. Okay, Ace of Wands. Okay. Allow yourself to like embrace change, Libra, for sure. Okay. Whoa, beautiful. Okay, yeah, the moon at the bottom of the deck. Okay, hold on. Interesting. Okay. I feel like this is not even I feel, this is, okay, because this one's pretty clear. This is a reading, Libras, where it is time to not be like the good guy all the time. Okay. So that doesn't mean to be something you're not or go against, who you are or anything of that nature. But the thing is, I feel like you guys have been putting up with way too much with the Nine of Wands here, that it's actually taking a toll now, like on you. And the Nine of Wands can be burned out, just exhausted from a situation, that sort of thing. What I'm getting the most, though, is like resentment buildup here, resentment energy. That usually when this builds up and builds up and builds up, that's when we're going to see like Tower cards and things like that, and not in the good way. Like sometimes I like the Tower card as a reader because it's good, it releases you from some energies and tears away whatever isn't working, and then so you can rebuild new things. But the Tower card is not really a favorable card. It's not something that we really want to see, because it means like that we spent a lot of time in something that never had a solid foundation to begin with. So thus, I feel like there's starting to build up some resentments here when it comes to a love situation, that I would say like fight for things where they are truly about love. So in other words, it's like, I don't know, I feel like you are putting so much effort into something, or just so burned out from like a past situation or something along those lines, that you're not even able to, like, I feel like you're doing this so that you can get to a point where then there will be a future. But the thing is, it's like, this isn't, our past becomes our future. Okay, it's not the other way around. It's not like the magical future just appears, in that way. Our past, our actions, any actions, even like 5 minutes ago, whatever, or 50 years ago, it doesn't matter. It's like our past is the only thing that builds our future. So it's like if you are sticking with something because you keep thinking, well, there'll be a bright side to this soon, or, well, if I can make it through this, then there will be that, that kind of thing. That's not necessarily so, because if our past energy, even 5 minutes ago, like I said, is negative, it's burned out, it's starting to hold resentment or building more resentment, then that's what's coming in the future. So it's really important to focus on new vitality, new energy. It doesn't mean you have to leave somebody. Maybe, it depends. I mean, if you're in a relationship that's really not heading anywhere, well, maybe it is time to really make those moves and changes. But this is a general tarot reading, so we're not looking, I'm not looking to give you radical advice in a general reading on YouTube, right? But for some of you, that may be what's needed. And if that's the case, you'll know it, deep down. Others of you, though, like if you're looking for love or looking for new things in your life, then, it's absolutely about needing to play the role of new. So stop, not to play the role of martyrdom or putting up with things that exhaust you and build resentment within you. So it could even be like a past relationship from a long time ago that really hasn't, that jaded you so badly, that you possibly don't believe, that new things could be out there, right? Or it's a situation you're in now that's just creating more and more resentment. So the best thing to do is find some sort of new vitality, either towards this relationship, if you really, really want to make it work. Although this is saying what not to do. And the Three of Wands is about feeling like all the work you put in will pay off, or like manifesting a future of, optimistic and things like that, which that's a wonderful energy, but this is in the position of what not to do. So I feel like this is saying like take the blinders off in a way, and I don't mean that in a harsh or mean way, but sometimes we need that like little slap on the head, right? To kind of wake up and see something. And the thing is, I think you do. I do, Libras are very, that's the thing. It's like you guys are extremely intelligent creatures when it comes to everything else. But when it comes to making those decisions for yourself, it's more difficult because you are about fairness and balance and afraid of upsetting apple carts in a way. So it's like when it comes to making decisions for yourself, it's more difficult. Like you can see very clearly what everyone else needs to do. You're very adept and talented and skilled at that. That's probably why people come to you, or why you are able to give information to others and that sort of thing. You might even be that person, in your friend circle or in, your family who has the answers, right? But when it comes to yourself, there's this sense of feeling like if you just tough something out, eventually your ship will come in. And this is saying not to be that way, to get into the energy of making sure that ship comes in by taking new strides, new developments, new action, not the same old here. Okay. Because you clearly have this beautiful Ace of Cups here. And this is more in a position of like what to embrace in your life. Okay. So the Ace of Cups is pure love. It is sincerity. It's love worth putting energy and vitality in. Because this doesn't seem to be like paying off, if you will. And not to put it in that way, but so embracing pure love, new opportunities. Okay, because the Devil card is here for a reason. And it's because I feel like you guys have played like Mr. or Mrs. Nice Guy for way too long. And that it's time to get a little more curious social, look into new things in your life. And if that means needing to like sever, what do you call it? Like codependent, because the devil card can be codependent energy that keeps you trapped, right? It's a veil of deceit, a veil of illusion, that kind of thing. So it's like needing to cut those chains here. And you may need to, in order to save yourself, basically, because again, I feel like you're getting like way too much build up of like resent. Both of these cards, to me personally as a reader, because of the scowl on their faces, it remind me of just like resentment. So, and anger, towards that, and frustration and things of that nature. So you have a much lighter energy that's needing to come through here. And there is like actual love available, but it comes from, it can never come from like this type of energy. It's going to come from a situation of matching enthusiasm, matching love, matching optimism, not codependency or things of that nature. So I feel like it's time for you to get a little bit kick ass about like what you move toward and what you entertain, basically. Okay, so let's see. Let's get you a couple more cards. Things that keep you stuck are just going to keep you stuck, and build resentment, basically, in a nutshell. Okay. New is your friend. New energy, anyway. Again, I don't know if it's necessary you have to cut off all ties or anything with someone, but it's like, but this needs to be fixed. If you are going to stay in something, it's never going to be that future that you envision with this like burned out resentment energy here. So something would have to change within that dynamic. And that means like they have to change, and we can't make other people change, right? Okay, so let's see. Happiness. Oh my gosh, I love it. And strength and confidence at the bottom of the deck. Okay. Yeah, happiness, strength, and confidence. That is love. When we're in happiness energy, when we're in strength, inner strength energy, and outward confidence energy, that's when the love is around and available. Okay, let's get one last card for you, and then we're going to move on here. Okay, is there any last advice card here for Libras, please? It's probably what you're stuck with. And yeah, sovereignty. Wow, what a cool card. Yeah, freeing yourself and recognizing your individual freedom that needs to be honored. Okay, Libras do tend to do a lot of things for a lot of people, but again, it's sort of like the oxygen mask theory, with or not theory, but practice on the jets, right? On the jet planes, like where the mother is told to put her oxygen mask on first before getting her child's, because it's like you need to have yourself taken care of, right, before you can take care of your children or your people or your family or your friends or what have you. So definitely taking ownership of your own personal happiness and strength and confidence, for sure. These things were stuck in the deck. Okay, so we have envy, door to romance, and focus. Okay. So yeah, there could be something about like envying like romantic relationships, or maybe some of you like to watch romantic couples together, and like, why can't I have that? Or romantic comedies or something along those lines, right? Like envying that lifestyle of those who can go out and date and do all these things, and then this crappy situation, where you're arguing all the time with your person, or just butting heads. The Five of Swords can be very stubborn, obstinate energy, and it's like, well, then don't allow yourself to like drown in the emotion of this. To seek real transformation, we need to really know that it's our personal power and personal respect that brings the transformation. It's not just visualizing and manifesting and things like that. Those things are very useful. But again, our past is going to be what creates our future. So it's like, so every moment up until right now is creating your future. So that means every moment that's coming after this one, right? We want to put it into the energy of power, freedom, sovereignty, independence, confidence, happiness. And that will create the future. Not just like hoping, trying to manifest romance, things like that. Okay. And again, those things are fine. Nothing wrong with that energy. But this is suggesting like a declaration and a commitment to your personal power to bring this self-love energy in. And in order to be that, you may need to be a little bit of a bad guy here, or a little bit of a not definitely don't allow yourself to get into the energy of resentment. Okay. It's like, instead alchemize that energy towards understanding that there is like a darkness in certain things, and there is an illusion in certain things, and not trying to pretend that doesn't exist, but incorporate it in a way where you can blend it into wisdom so that the true light of you can come out here. Okay? That's what I'm seeing for you, Libras. We are on to Scorpio. Okay, Scorpio, let's see what the cards have in store for you. We are looking at how you can move towards love. Tell me about Scorpio, please. Spiritually and both pragmatically. Scorpios moving toward love, what they love, who they love. Scorpios, please. It's a little similar to Libra's reading so far. Okay. That happens a little bit on this channel. Wow, beautiful. Scorpio. Interesting. Wow. Okay. Wow. Okay. Oh, wow. Sorry, I keep saying wow. Your card at the bottom of the deck. All right. Definitely, wow. And then I saw the angel. This is a good reading, Scorpio. Okay, so yours is a little similar to Libra, so some of you may be like watching both or something along those lines, like cuspy, Scorpios. But it's different enough. All right, so I see where this is going. I'm going to leave these right here so we can look at those momentarily. What a difficult lesson you, or lessons you have powered through here, Scorpio. And the thing is, I feel like you're not through the woods yet. However, you are very close to being through the woods with something. Okay, so let's see. Give me just a moment here. So I feel like, Scorpio, you are doing things correctly at this time as far as like how spirit wants you to move through like this crazy world right now. Like, I do feel like you do have the right like kind of attitude. You are definitely powering through certain obstacles, or not getting hung up on too many things. right now. It's like they may be there, and they probably are there, but it's like you're determined to keep plowing through, powering through, and not give too much weight to things at this time. So I think that that is a good direction to head. I do feel, and this is where I say it kind of reminds me of Libra's reading a little bit, is that actually, though, I feel like you guys need to move in to a more because Scorpios, you do see the delusions of life. You know, you're one of the, you know, you're a very philosophical sign, right? You're a very deep sign. So you do see the delusions, the illusions of life. I feel like it's okay to go there and see that, and to understand that that is part of you too. So, in other words, I don't think it's so much about being an angel, 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 you know, all the time. Sometimes, you know, we need to face the demon, 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 you know, at times as well. And this is very much about like heading off at the path, the demon, but not for the sake of, like, not in the sense of because you want to hide it and pretend it doesn't exist, but because it's time to come face to face with that like demon, or with that fear, or, you know, something along those lines. All right. And recognize, so that demon, you know, can be all kinds of things. All right. It could be a codependent relationship. It could be an illusion of a relationship. It could be an obsession with relationships. The devil card can mean a lot of different things, and they're all basically like the negative things of life, right? The things that keep us in chains and keep us from healing and from our true freedom. So the thing is, I feel like you're kind of going head first, like, and ready to meet it, and ready to say, all right, F you, demon. You know, I got you. You know, I acknowledge you're there, but I'm gonna keep, you know, plowing right through that anyway to get to my healing. So in this way, I feel like, Scorpio, you are putting your healing as priority number one. I feel like that's really, really good. And it's like you're ready to face these situations. Also, you're in a very good position to face these obstacles, or this obstacle, or this person, or relationship, or whatever it may be. So it's like, yes, I feel like that is a good energy for you to be in. It's really important, though, to remember that the reason you're breaking through or facing this situation is for the purpose of healing. Not to be facing this situation solely because you feel lonely or depressed, or you just want somebody to talk to, or something like that. Nothing wrong with those things, but it's like, do it because it's do it for healing. Do it for healing. That's basically what I'll say. All right. There's a little more to that, but I'll leave room for your own interpretations, because you know, you are Scorpios, so you know yourself and you like to go into those depths. So I'll leave that as like an energy to ponder. I guess the energy to ponder would be, make sure that you are facing this like situation, or this demon, or not literal demon, but like demon situation, right? That whatever's keeping you entrapped in bondage, or stuck in the purpose of healing, all right? Not for any other types of reasons. This is not a time to look at yourself as small, or well, I'll just chalk that up to another learning experience. It's not time for that at all. It's time for you to realize that you have learned these things. You do know these things, and you're so very used to charging through demons, in a sense, that have left you like just so depleted that it's so difficult for you to realize why you're doing this anymore. So I'm here to remind you via spirit, right? That it's like, spirit wants to remind you that the reason you're doing these things, the reason you keep facing up these problematic situations or people or relationships in your life or obsessions or what have you, is to get you to see like the heal, the love, all right? Not to focus on that everything sucks or nothing ever works out for me. It's to get you to see like the true love, because you will be in disappointment and like and you won't, I didn't mean that as a prediction. I'm just saying you'll be in that energy of disappointment and heartbreak and never knowing why, unless you realize that you need to balance both sides of yourself. You need to honor that part of you that does get stuck in that demon energy. All right. But honor it in the sense of not getting trapped in it. But because if that devil card energy didn't exist, then we would never really know what real love, healing, and connection is. So there is a place for this, right? And like without the dark, there can't be the light kind of thing. So you can be in a cave for like a bazillion years. You know, I just read this on, I don't know, it was some Qigong site that I follow. I can't remember which one, but it was like a little thing on the community board. And it was saying like you can have a cave that's been hidden in the mountains for, you know, a bazillion years, right? That's all dark and who knows what's going on in there, right? But the second that you turn on a light in that cave with a flashlight or whatever, you know, it illuminates everything. So this is really about such a scorpionic theme of honoring the dark and the light. Okay, so there is an honoring time of darkness and stillness and caves. And then there's an honoring of knowing when to turn on the light and illuminate everything. And it's time to illuminate everything, but honor the cave. Honor the cave of darkness, but overcome those things by turning on the light. All right. So what I feel like with you guys right now is that I don't think you've like really realized how heartbroken you have been over a situation. And I know that sounds stupid because of course everybody knows how heartbroken they are, right? But it's like really recognizing how this has been like a problematic theme for you. So it's either obsession that has kept you from really connecting with someone. So some of you, because, you know, that can be a Scorpio trait. So obsessiveness or obsessing over someone, right? That can be the reason. Other reasons might be giving too much to the wrong people. The ones that are third party things who are just stringing you along kind of deal, right? Or giving to people who do not, you know, relationships that don't appreciate you, that bring you nothing but grief or heartache, those types of things. Like really like recognize that this is not working. And it's like you are not just some pawn, you know, on a chessboard. All right. You are your light. You are the light of your world. All right. I'm not talking about of everyone or trying to boost your ego like, oh, you're the light of the world, Scorpio. I don't mean that, but of your world. You are the light. All right. Not them. You know, not this situation. So it's up to you to turn on the light in the cave to illuminate things. So I feel like you are going to sit with this for a little bit. I'm not going to lie. I don't think you're like through the woods yet. But the good thing is, though, is, oh, wow. And the Hermit, which is about the cave. Turning on the light. Oh my God, I swear. And I did see those cards before, but I didn't put that together. Okay. Yeah, this is what's going to turn the wheel, is turning on the light. This is what's going to bring in a very solid foundation with someone, is shining the light on everything. Not hiding in the dark, not being obsessive, not being unfulfilled in relationships or third parties that don't go, you know, don't feed the demons, break through the demons to the light. Okay, the light is what's going to illuminate it all, and it's not going to seem so scary. Beautiful, beautiful reading. Okay, so last 2 cards for you, Scorpio. I mean, you clearly have new beginnings like coming through here. Talk about the passion. REM song just came into my head. Okay. Yeah, some of you guys, obsessiveness keeps coming to mind. So I think a lot of it is about obsession. Okay, and what else for Scorpio, please? Yep. Interesting. So someone here clearly is not for you, and it's time to open the door to personal healing and happiness. Recognize, oh my God, and I even talked about being a pawn on a chessboard. You are not a pawn on a chessboard, and neither is someone else. Right? So it is time to open the door to personal healing and happiness by realizing this, and realizing that, I mean, if we really want love, you know, in our lives, we want to know how to move toward love, then we have to move toward love. We have to light that lamp, you know, in that cave, and we have to be able to let the wheel turn, and we need to offer, and we need to accept. So it's like, that is the door to personal healing and happiness, and that is love. Not just the passion, the desire, the angst, the this, the that, you know, that is going to keep you in this Scorpio card, first decan of Scorpio, of not seeing the potential of love. Okay? So that's what I have for you guys, Scorpio. We are on to Sagittarius. Okay, Sagittarius. Tell me about Sagittarius, please, and how to move towards that love. We are looking at both spiritually and pragmatically for Sagittarius. Oh, somebody else had that card. I can't remember what sign it was. So some of you may be watching different placements. Okay. Okay. Lover's card. Intriguing. Okay. And then Sun. Okay. All right. So yours is intriguing. It reminds me a little bit of the Libra reading. So some of you may be watching that placement as well, although we have enough difference here. So there's something that's like way too heavy right now. And some of you may be trying to listen to, and this, I'm just going to say, this shows that I'm a true tarot reader, because I'm going to tell you this. All right. Like, I'm not in it for the, you know, the money or that. Well, obviously, if I definitely chose the wrong profession, if that's the case. This is saying that if you are listening to a psychic too much, or a tarot reader too much, or something like that, this is saying to not really be doing that right now. It doesn't mean that they are wrong, or, you know, I mean, it could be me, you know, it could be me, or it could be like someone you're getting tarot readings from, or a channel you're watching like tons of, or something like that. So, and I'll throw myself under the bus there too, you know, it could be me. So it's not saying that we are wrong per se, but the thing is, there's too much dependency on this rather than taking the action needed to do something. Okay. And that is, you know, it's like, there's no way out of this, like, mess, if you will, like, cleanly. So whatever this is, a third party, or a Knight of Wands player, or whatever this may be, there's no way to just cleanly get out of this situation and avoid any type of chaos. There's going to be chaos. There's going to be clashing of views and ideals and ideas and decisions and whatnot. So I feel like there's a reliance here too much, because I don't feel it's like, because this is in what not to do. So this is never going to mean don't listen to your intuition. Okay, that's why I think it's more of an outside source, or looking to an outside source rather than like hearing your own intuition. Okay, so we never ignore, or our intuition is never bad for us, right? So that's why I say and deduct that it's probably like looking to too many tarot readings for the answer, or looking to a specific reader for the answer, or something along those lines. And again, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's because they've given you wrong information. It's because it's like, that's not what is needed right now. What is needed is action. Like, kind of, and please keep this in mind though, all right? Because the whole point of this reading, so what I'm about to say here, it may be right, but still, you have to really know, is this right? Don't rely on this message to spur you into action. You should be spurred into action because your intuition truly is saying, do this. Okay, so that's the build up for what I'm about to say, because what I would suggest with this is to not be listening or looking and all that kind of stuff for more answers, but to drive into action here and take on that chaos, because there's no avoiding it. There's going to be a fight. There's going to be a clash. Things are going to be messy. All right. And that's what I feel like your reading is about. I feel like this is a stalling tactic of, or either that, or like really wanting to know if that's the right thing to do. But the thing is, if we're relying on psychics or tarot readings to tell us what the right thing to do is, they're only supposed to be a tool. That's what we're a tool to help you to think of some different things to do, right? And think of possibly some different perspectives that you haven't seen before. That's all we as tarot readers or psychics or, what have you, should be really responsible for. All right. We're not responsible for telling you this is what you have to do. All right. So that's what I'm seeing here. I feel like there's no avoiding, like you have to jump in the fire here. There's no avoiding the devil of this situation. It is time to make a high vibrational choice towards your freedom and happiness. And the result is you will, most likely end up in something that is very long-term, secure, and whatnot, in the future. But right now, it's asking you to face the demon situation here. And even though it's going to cause some arguments or chaos or drama or something like that, make that high vibrational choice to move towards the optimism and the clarity and the freedom that you are seeking. Okay. All right. So let's see. Let's get a little bit more here for you, Sagittarius. Disruption. Oh my God. Seriously? Oh my gosh. And then we have the death card, which is about tearing something down so that you can rebuild something else. Sweet. And then look, we have anger. There's no way to avoid the anger, the disruption, and those types of things. That's the illumination. That's the illumination. All right. So let me get one advice card here for you guys. One other last card. One last card for Sagittarius, please. I feel like you need to run right into that disruption, that tower, that something's gonna be heartbreaking or difficult or heavy or disruptive, but that's what the cards seem to be pointing out. Again, though, remember this message. Angel of love. Oh my God, I love it. Yeah, there's an angel looking out for you guys that is really trying to help guide you in matters of love here. So this is possibly like a passed on relative or like a spirit guide or something along those lines. That it's very much like the Temperance card, which is your card, Sagittarius, of creating some sort of balance, because this particular oracle card is not from an angel deck, or a love deck in particular. It's from a very there's a lot of different cards in this particular deck, and this is unique in the deck. It's not all angels, like I said. So the fact that it came out is saying that there is like this angel of love that is trying to heal a situation for you, and it's like sweet and long, long living, trying to get you into a more sturdy situation of that's long lasting and committed and that sort of thing. Okay, so that's what I see for you, Sagittarius. Okay, Capricorn, let's see how to move toward love, please. How to move toward love, Capricorn. Interesting. Okay. All right. Inner strength at the bottom of the deck. Actually, let me keep going here. Yeah, okay. All right. Oh, that's interesting, because I was singing while I was shuffling. I might have edited it out. I don't know. Because sometimes I edit out really long shuffles. And I was singing that song, Walk On By. Do, do, do. So interesting. When you see something you like, go for it. Okay, there's that. But also, all right, some of you, there's a clear message here for like a few of you, maybe just one of you. So I will not spend a ton of time on this, but for someone out there, you may have a crush on someone at work, and it's like, then let them know. Okay. And instead of like just sort of testing the waters and flirting and things like that, it's like, go for it. All right. So you may have held something for this person for a long time. Actually, I'm going to expand on this because I don't think it's just for one person now that I'm into this. I just heard, no, this is the message. Okay. So it may not be a work connection, but for one or two or three of you, it may be a work connection. So that part is specific. For the rest of you Capricorns, there's something here about carrying a torch for someone or holding on to someone, or you sort of flirting with them, but never really telling them that you're interested, that is not working for you. Okay, so there's like, if we want to move toward our 9 and 10 of cups in connection, then it takes the 2 of cups, right? The 8 of cups is there's something missing. So this person's going to go find their 9 of cups and then their 10 of cups, right? So it's like the 2 of cups is missing from this reading, and there's way too much holding back here. Way too much holding back. And your cards here, the fact that 2 came out here, because I've been just pulling 1 in this position, and yours is the only reading thus far where 2 came out, and it's so apparent. This is like going after what you want and narrowing down that wall that you've put in front of things between. It's almost like you've held back your heart so long that you've put this wall and this shield in front of you that, like, how's anyone expected to penetrate that, right? Yes, I said penetrate. Yes, I do have the humor of a teenager. So this is more of saying, like, look, man, chop down all that and get passionate with things. And also, though, not just, again, being flirty and testing the waters and waiting for things to happen. It's like, put yourself out there. Let others know you are available, or say something more concrete. So instead of just flirty stuff, because that's just not working. It's either do that. It's sort of, pardon my crassness here because I hate this phrase, but this is exactly what just came into my head. Either shh or get off the pot. Okay. So that's what I'm seeing with this energy. So it doesn't mean like you need to go ask out everybody, or you have to make all the first moves if you're a feminine or something like that. Although maybe, because there is this wall in front of you. But it is saying like either open up your heart or don't, right? But it's saying either or get off the pot. So you guys are waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting, for things to happen, instead of like seizing the moment, here, or allowing others to know that they can seize the moment with you, because they wouldn't know by this behavior. So that's what I'm seeing. And like flirting is not really like on hand here or on tap here. Being direct, asking someone out, or being direct in letting someone know you are available, that's what is showing up here. If it is particularly a work crush, okay, then there's two things here. For some of you, it could just be a distraction of actually looking for love. Because a lot of times people get in work crushes because it gives them something to look forward to each day when they go to work. Like, ooh, maybe something will happen. Oh, maybe, Tom in accounting will flirt with me, or, whatever, that kind of thing. So that's like just enough to keep you interested, in that energy. But it's, let's face it, very rarely something that's going to be your end all be all, and you guys are going to run off into the sunset and everything else, right? And especially if no one's actually taking action. So usually I view those like work crushes as a distraction, because it's just enough to keep you in kind of love energy, but deep down it's really a guardedness that doesn't want to explore outside of anything else. So there's a need to open up here more and be available more, and let people know that you are available also. And some of you, if it is a work crush that isn't really working, like they're not interested or something like that, then emotionally detach from that. And because it's holding you back, and start looking for opportunities that aren't holding you back. Okay. All right. So, and if it's not a work situation, then for others of you, it's still the same message, but there is a need to like emotionally detach from, if you've carried a flame for someone for a very long time, if you're really not planning on asking this person out, or you just deep down know like they're not available, then move on from that. Because it's not really like doing any favors by staying attached to that without taking action. Okay. All right. So let's see. Fear. Yeah, fear holding you back. That does seem, and ghost. Yeah, fear that you would be ghosted, or fear that like they're not interested. Those things are not your friend at all. All right, either so not in a flirty way, in a genuine way, either find out is there interest here or not, and if there is, great. If there's not, time to move on, right? This could even be an ex that you've wondered about for a long time, or someone that's been on your mind for a long time. And if that's the case, like you guys possibly could work something out here. All right. But it's going to take some, yeah, wow. Resistance is at the bottom of the deck too. There's so much like resistance here, and like fortress energy built around you that like it's hard to like, again, penetrate like that wall. All right. So between worlds. Yeah, it's time to step out of that gray world and walk into the colorful world now. You're at a fork in the road. Time to decide here. Power of prayer and let go of guilt. Okay. So let's see. The power of prayer says, give this situation to God for uplifting and healing and be open to miracles. Heaven's unlimited resources, love, and answers are awaiting your prayers. Now, be sure to act upon the divine guidance that God does give to you in response to your prayers. So when we're praying for like miracles and resources, love, answers and whatnot, well, when they do show up, make sure that we, follow and respect that divine guidance that does show up. And then we have let go of guilt. When you allow your light to shine brightly, you inspire others. Forgive yourself for what you think you've done or not done, and trust that God loves you unconditionally for who you are. Learn and grow from past mistakes instead of berating yourself for them. Yeah, it's almost like you've put yourself in this like punishable, like a prison or something along those lines. And it's like, and every once in a while, like there's a little flirtation and that's just enough to kind of keep you going. But it's like Spirit wants more for you. Spirit wants you to connect with the Two of Cups, and it could be in your future. But we have to present ourselves as that is what we want. All right. Is that connection, that love, that future. Okay. All right. So that's what I have for Capricorn. One other thing, Capricorn, it might be tables turned on that. If you're not afraid of somebody ghosting you, others may be afraid to approach you for fear of being ghosted, because you do have this impenetrable like fortress around you. So you may be sending off that vibe also, where they're afraid to come toward you with that Ace of Wands because they're afraid they're just going to hit like that brick wall of sticks, like in the Ten of Wands. And they may be afraid of being ghosted. So it's like, again, there's something here about like letting yourself be known as far as availability. Okay. All right. So now we are on to Aquarius. Okay. Aquarius now. How to move toward love, Aquarius. We're going to get a spread for you that can direct you towards like spiritual and tangible ways of moving toward love. Ah, yay. Well, you're in a good spot. How about that? I like it. Oh, there you are, Aquarius. Okay. Oh my gosh. Moving. Okay. The thing is, you don't realize how much love. Okay. I mean, you do. You do probably know how much love you have, but it's like it's almost like stealing away from yourself. Is stealing away your wishes and your dreams and things like that, because like denying this beautiful purity of something. Okay. So let's see. Like concerned about like, or like kind of a spy energy here of like what everything else is up to, rather than like putting the, like realizing how amazing like you are. Yeah, okay. Because it's so strange. This should, so strange. Must be the season of, yeah, exactly. Okay, because it should theoretically, like the way I'm doing this spread, it would make more sense for it to look like this, okay? But the thing is, yours came out this way. So this is a very curious reading, and it's saying like you are, oh my God, like you have like the ability to be this. I mean, we all do, right? But it's really showing like that it is like really available for you to be this like all loving being, and to like just have this unending sort of like nurturing, healing waters and all these types of things. However, I feel like you don't feel you can be this. Like you don't feel like you can be yourself. Like you have to sort of cleverly package this up as something else. Okay. So like It reminds me of, like, let's take a television show, for example, where, and it doesn't happen as much now, but if you're older like me and you grew up with, 70s reruns or 80s TV shows and things like that, there was always a dumbing down in TV shows where, they just didn't know if the audience would get it or not. So, like, the foreshadowing in the writing was like ridiculously obvious to make it easy on everyone, right? But nowadays, like, I don't believe they do that so much. They realize that, hey, you know what? People are a little smarter than we give them credit for, so it doesn't have to be like super obvious in your face, type of stuff. I really feel like Twin Peaks was sort of like that in the 1980s, was like sort of the catalyst of change for television. And there were, we can argue that, I mean, there were tons of intelligent shows prior to that, but that show itself really, it didn't dumb down things, and it did in a way, in sort of like a campy way, but it gave you a lot to think about subconsciously and deeper levels and whatnot. So it's reminding me of that, you're reading, where it's like there's a need sort of to play that game, but never forget that you are this like, you cannot be drained of love, Aquarius. You cannot be drained of love. It will always be available for you, and you can always offer it from a pure state. You don't always have to sort of cleverly do it or something along those lines, although sometimes clever is good and it is needed. And, clever in TV shows, again, it takes an art to foreshadow, if you will. So I don't know why I'm relating a lot of things to that, but for some reason I am, like foreshadowing. So foreshadowing, if you're not familiar, in like television or movie scripts or whatever, is where you give like a little teeny bit of a scene that's going to play out later as like a fairly major scene. So I do feel like right now, sure, do a little foreshadowing with something, okay, but make sure it is coming from love, and don't get addicted to the foreshadowing and forget to have the big reveal, okay? So that's what I see. Like, tiptoeing around something now, fine, but don't forget that your point of doing that is for the big reveal of love. Because there's definitely a partnership here that can happen, but it starts with some sort of actual tangible conversation. So in other words, if you cleverly want to find out if someone's single now, or if someone's left someone now, or, if they're available or something, then like ask, right? It's like just straightforward ask, find out. You don't have to give away like your whole, like, oh my God, you're the love of my life, and oh, I'm dying to know, are you single? You don't have to give away everything or anything like that. So you can still like foreshadow the situation, right? Without the big reveal yet, and like just find out. That's what I see for your reading, because I feel like something could happen between you and someone that doesn't know that you're interested, or something along those lines, or that you don't even, like, maybe you haven't even met this person yet. This is possibly coming in soon. So you don't have to put everything out on the table right away or anything like that, but do come forward. Like, do show interest. Don't skirt around issues. Again, not the full reveal yet, but don't skirt around like so much that you don't ask this person out, or that you don't respond to them, or don't play too many like games, or something along those lines. Play the game a little bit right now, that's fine, but make sure that you are taking your time also to get to know someone, so that they have a chance to see who you really are also. So basically, it's like a little bit of game playing in the beginning, but with proper foreshadowing for the big reveal. Okay, so not coming right out of the gate and saying, "Oh my God, wow," like if you meet somebody, at a club, let's say, or whatever dinner party, and it's like, "Oh my God, you're the love of my life. Let's get to know each other." No, it's not the time for that. It's not that big a reveal, but it's definitely the time to like cleverly, have a little foreshadowing here. But don't forget though that like don't get stuck in that where it's just constantly flirting or constantly foreshadowing so that you don't get to it, okay? So it's kind of a weird reading, but Aquarians are weird. So tiptoe a little bit now, sure. Don't let this person know like right away that you're ready to get married and move in, okay? Like don't put the cart before the horse. I said that in somebody else's reading, so if you're watching both of those, that message is more prevalent. Don't put the cart before the horse. If you watched that other reading, if you're watching multiple placements and I said that, then that is definitely your message. But others of you, I think it's just more about like making sure that you are following through with someone here. And you don't have to, tell them everything right now and all that, but do give them like something. Okay, so let's see. Hold on. Where are my little cards I was using? Where did those go? Huh. Interesting. Oh, there they are. Sadness. Interesting. Space. Yeah, someone needs space and time and rest. I really feel like it ties into that other reading that I did. So I don't know if this is the reading for all of you Aquarians. You may want to watch like your rising or Venus if this doesn't relate. This really reminds me of that other reading I did where like not to put the cart in front of the horse. That like getting too sad too quick over like something that really hasn't even had a chance to develop into love, and allowing someone some space, like allowing them to have space before declaring love, that sort of thing. So again, I don't feel like this is the reading for all of you Aquarians because it feels very specific. So you may want to check like one of your other placements is what I'm saying here. Okay, but that could be part of it too if it isn't tied into that other reading I did, which I think it was Cancer maybe, or I don't know. It might have been Gemini's. It was earlier on. Okay, so yeah, broken heart, darkness, abundance, self-reflection, and higher power. Yeah, because okay, the thing is, yeah, I do feel like you guys will mostly stay in like broken-hearted energy and like in the long night moon, like darkness, right, of a broken heart if someone isn't allowed more space. And it's like ultimately this will benefit you when you rely like on yourself and your higher power. It's going to forge a better connection and strength within yourself to be more of like that power magnet of like a really good, strong connection and relationship here. But it starts with us like putting forth that effort of true communication and not playing the game too much, okay? But allowing space for someone else and time for these things to develop. Not putting this first and realizing that there may be a pattern here of really not knowing exactly what you want. So trying to like form a partnership because that will wrangle you is not going to be good. All right. So in other words, like really be honest with yourself. Are you just looking for a partnership because you feel like you need like somebody else to inspire you or to kind of push you in the right direction or work with you or something like that, right? because this is all about standing up into your inner power and your inner freedom and your outward tangible abundance, and like relying on yourself and your higher power and doing some good deep reflection here, because trying to force a love situation too soon will end up in broken heart and darkness. All right, so and sadness. Okay, so that's what I see for Aquarius. Okay, again, not everybody's reading, most likely. Okay. Ooh, Pisces. Ah. Well, how about that, Pisces? Okay. So for Pisces, we are looking at how to move toward love, Pisces, both spiritually and tangibly. Wow. Okay, I like this so far. Don't dream it's over, hey now, hey now. So that song just came into my head. Okay. Yeah, interesting. Don't dream it's over. And then we get the Five of Pentacles. Intriguing. Okay. Oh, okay. This just came out for Aquarius, I think it was. Yeah. Choices. Okay. Perpetual choices. Okay. So let's see. Yeah, that may be a nostalgic song for you or something. Who was that, like Crowded House or something? That song, Hey Now, Don't Dream It's Over. With the war between us, you know that they can't win, or I don't know, something like that. All right, because you clearly have this sort of karmic-y kind of situation going on here. Let me just take a look at this. I'm going to take a minute here. Okay, Pisces, so I took a minute, and I do want to clarify this card. What I do see is, like, there's clearly a need here to ask for help, to allow yourself to, because there's like either a depression here or like a needing to get out of a circumstance that can't just be like manifested without asking for help. So in other words, yes, you can manifest change, but there's a karmic situation here of you needing to ask help. I feel like you are currently playing the role of mother to all, right? Sincere friend to all, sincere giving to all, right? But your karma is to realize then, okay, but at times you need to be replenished. At times you need to have a sincere friend, or, you know, you need some mothering or nurturing. So to ask for that and not just try to manifest change in your life to make that happen. All right. It's tangibly asking for help. That will make like a world of difference, and that will bring opportunity toward you, or love toward you, for sure. So actually, I'm not going to clarify it because that's what I feel that situation is. So this is there's almost to like an inner child resentment in a way of playing this role. And it's like, even though you are natural at it and you are very good at it, okay, very good. You are like whether you are a masculine or a feminine, you are, you embody so many beautiful inward traits that can't help but nurture others. All right. So like you do have that ability, but there's almost a sense of, it may have come from some inner child resentments of having to be like put in this position of this role. So in other words, I don't think it's necessarily that you had to always care, like you had to be the mother in the house or the father in the house or whatever. I don't get that so much. Although that may be for some of you, like maybe you were the one who ended up taking care of the brothers and sisters or something like that. That's possible for some of you. Others of you, though, it's more though like being groomed to be that person that's going to take care of everything. So like when the parents get older or something like that, there's almost like a resentment of the fact that you are so nurturing that you are going to have all these responsibilities in a way, is what I'm sensing. And it's a karma though, that it's not saying like it's a karma that you have to do that. It's a karma of knowing that like showing you that it's okay for you to ask for help. You don't have to be the incredible empress all the time. You can ask others for help too. And my guess is they would be all too happy to help you if they are genuine. All right. We need to know who to go to for help, or the right circumstances for help, because we can give and give and give and give and give to people, and that doesn't necessarily mean they're going to give back. Okay. So it's like knowing the right circumstances and the right people or whatever to ask for help is also key in your karmic role here. Once you do, like there's a knight coming to the rescue here with some sort of opportunity. All right. Or there's love coming toward you with an opportunity, like a grounded start to a relationship. So there's that message. Others of you too, you may have a karmic thing where it's like you are very close or have a lot of ties or nostalgia with someone. But it's like no matter how much you just hope like that things will happen or get better or come together or something like that, it's like, well, ultimately you end up feeling abandoned with the situation, or like it never comes together. So if that's the case, if this is like a unrequited situation or like someone you've held a torch for, well, talk to them. And maybe they'll come running. All right. Let them know you're interested. Like if they don't know you're interested, all right, then let them know. If they do know you're interested and they haven't come forth, well, then it's time to, again, like kind of nothing we can do to manifest that is really, we can't control somebody else's, how they're going to come to us. So if they're not coming toward us and they do know we're interested, then possibly it's time to drop that torch and welcome new opportunities coming toward you. Okay. All right. So let's get a little bit more for you, Pisces. Spiritually, I would say like it's a karmic like duty almost to go out of your comfort zone and ask for help. And that is your tangible answer too. All right. They kind of both run in tandem. All right. What else for Pisces, please? Surrender. Wow. Surrender, but don't give yourself away. All right. We're all right. Okay, let's see. Let's get one more card, and then let's see what's going on here. Oh, yeah. Okay. One more for Pisces, please. Happy success. Beautiful. And pleasure. Okay. So, yeah, with surrender here, it almost reminds me of like the goddess symbol in a way. It's kind of hard to see this card. I really wish they would have printed these in a different form, because it's like white lettering on top of this like pale silver. You can barely see it, so it certainly probably doesn't show up well on camera. But I'm seeing like almost like a goddess formation here. I like the Empress in a way. It's like the same kind of stature. So it's like, I do feel like surrender to the role that you do play and accept that, yep, you are, and I don't know, some of you want to be like more of a kick-ass warrior, or, you know, there's like this little impetuous something like within you that wants to rebel. But the thing is, you are a beautiful goddess, whether you want to like admit it or not, or an empress energy, a nurturing energy. And that, again, this can be masculine or feminines, you know, and it's like, so surrender to that beautiful, because the thing is, it's like what an honor it is to be bestowed with such energy. All right, you didn't show up as a page, you know, it's like, so you showed up as an empress, and that is, it's a responsibility, and it's certainly can feel very depleting. I can see that at times. But think about like what roles you must have played in past lives to be able to take on this role in this life. So in a way, we can look at it with gratitude and with like what an honor it is to play such a mothering and nurturing role in this life. They don't just hand out those lives to everybody, right? So it's something that should be honored and not rebelled against. Okay. And I can see though that, you know, it may not be your friend if, again, you overdo and never ask for help. So need to ask for help here and surrender to this beautiful energy that you are. And that's when it's like when you open your arms and hands and your body language to receive, then you're going to have happy success here when you stay in that consciousness and not see yourself as like, you can't save everyone. You can't save every situation. You can't be friends with everyone. Even there could be like an impetuous child in your life or something like that. Again, we can't do everything. All right. But we can certainly come from a place of love and nurturing and know that we did what we can or do what we can. And the thing is not to let everything weigh you down, because you can't save or solve or be the empress to every single person on this planet or every single person that comes across your path. Okay. But it's like, but you can be your true authentic self. And if this could be a child, this could be somebody else, or again, your inner child or whatever, doesn't see that, that's on them. And it's like, who knows, you know, even our own children have their own destinies. That's why, you know, you can have like a really great family with a strong, supportive mother and father, and you can still raise a criminal, or you can still raise a drug addict, or you can still raise a depressed person or something like that. Even if like everything is, you know, really a good working, functioning family. I've seen that several times, right, through friends or just different experiences of families I've known. And so it doesn't always mean it's on you. So there's something about that too, to realize that it's like, you know, you can't do everything. And that's the thing. Sometimes there needs to be outside help, or there needs to, you know, you can't let this depress you. And it's, of course, like if it is a child or something like that, or if it's your inner child that needs healed, it's like, then find help for that. But you can't always be like the solver of everything. So maybe this particular person, if it is a person, or again, your inner child. So if it's your inner child, perhaps seek professional help if you can, right? Or good counseling, or watch some great video. If you can't afford that, watch some great videos on healing the inner child. If it is an actual child in your life, and they, no matter what, just rebel, or, you know, something along those lines, and it depresses you that you can't like fix it because you love them so much, then it's like, don't be hard on yourself. It's like, this may be their karma or their, you know, their life path. So, but we can offer them help. All right. If they accept the help, awesome. If they do not, then who knows what they're learning in this life. It may be for the better in the long run. Who knows? Okay. So mainly it's about just focusing on like what you can do to receive more happier consciousness, and so that you can stay replenished here. Do not deplete yourself trying to rescue every single situation or every single like problem. Okay. That's what I have for you, Pisces. All right. Thank you guys so much. I will see you soon.